Future faking. Maybe you've heard of it before, or maybe you haven't. But what you might find is there's lots of people in your life that have been affected by this, where somebody will promise a future, promise a lifestyle, promise a way of being, whether it's family, community, or something that you want or they want in order to get you into their life. And future faking takes many courses, including you commit to someone and then believe that at some point you're going to both come together and create this vision of a life together, when in reality, there's no intention, no action, no steps taken towards that will indicate to you that what they've promised is actually going to happen. And this is what future faking is. It's a destroyer of people's lives. It's a destroyer of, particularly if you are a woman watching this and you've saving up your eggs to share them with someone to create a family with, and then when the time comes to actually put those eggs to use, that person then runs away, shies away, or makes promises, or pushes the goalposts of what the relationship needs to look like before a future can even happen. So what I'm going to do is there's 5 points I'm going to hit on here and go deeper into what's the empathy behind a future faker. What's the reason behind why this happens, why it all felt so real to you in the beginning, but then maybe 6 months, 9 months, maybe even 10 years down the line, when you realize that neither of you were on the same page. And sometimes you're left a bit shell-shocked, wondering if the next partner that you choose to partner with is going to future fake you as well. So the suspicion and the mistrust in yourself and the other permeates through all your relationships, right? So straight up, it all felt so real. And this is where your central nervous system will get tricked into listening to what the person's promises were, what they told you, how good life was going to be, how the life that you both could build together, whether it was a property somewhere, kids, holidays, right? And then you tell all your friends about it. Maybe you think you're on the same page. You think you're both on the same page, which is why you got together in the first place. And then you tell your friends. You think you're both on the same page. They speak to your future like they already live in it. But their words are just borrowed dreams. You confuse that intensity of this life that you want to build together, and now you're planning life with a ghost. There's so many things that cross over. It feels like it's just so aligned. Right? And your central nervous system is attuned to listen to these things, but deeper down there might be a truth that you actually avoided, right? And like I mentioned before, that you tell your friends and family, and you finally let this person in. It's like, this is the one. This is the one that I can finally be proud of to take home to meet my parents or my siblings or my close circle of friends. Right? You let your guard down. You start weaving them into your future. So you're not just invested, now you're exposed, right? Which is why some people avoid getting back into relationships, because the last time, it was the embarrassment and the humiliation of having a relationship that failed. And yeah, it did fail because you started with an outset to believing it was going to be something and it didn't eventuate. So when I'm talking to someone who does deep inner work, they can acknowledge that their relationship failed. So yeah, it failed, We set out for a goal, it didn't happen, we failed in that, right? You're allowed to fail. It's in the failure and admitting the failure that you can repattern and recreate a new relationship map of where you want to go. And then after you've let them in and you can start to see that, wait a minute, this person's not all they're saying to be. They know how to say the correct things to me, but there's no action to really back it up. There's no embodiment. There's no skin and bone in the game, right? Keep making excuses, keep changing the goalposts, and then they vanish. Or they try and convince you that, they just need more time. If you've already given a number of years to this person, do you really think they're going to magically change now? And what can happen here is when the relationship gets an ultimatum, like you threaten them, they can radically change. They can do this radical shift. And then in you believe that there's hope. There's hope. They finally shifted. But ultimatums aren't inner truth. Ultimatums are a leverage. They're a tool. They're a lever used to convince someone to change behavior, but it won't last because it's not their true self. Their true self is stuck in the past, stuck in some developmental cycle that's incomplete, related to commitment and trusting themselves. But you're left holding the pieces, right? Can tell your friends, might be embarrassed. You know that person that we introduced? You know Timmy or the Christopher or Andrew or whoever else that I introduced you to, or Tiffany or Andrea that I introduced you to. Yeah, actually turns out they didn't actually really want to have a relationship with me. Turns out they just made a whole bunch of promises to me and they never were going to fulfill them. They made a bunch of excuses and I stayed for the excuses, not for the truth. But you can't get your time back, right? You can't get that time back. You can't get that trust back, right? That betrayal that happens when you're left to pick up the pieces by yourself. When someone really doesn't own it, they collapse into, I'm such a disappointment to you, right? Or the flip side of it, they blame you for it. You're too difficult, you're too much, you're just asking too much from me, right? Really does your head in. And then all of this is about your nervous system. So who you attracted was based on your past. If your parents were people who promised you the world and then didn't deliver, we're going to go on holiday next week. We're going to have a great time. Your family's going to be great. You're going to meet this, going to be great. Never happened. We're going to go to Bali for Christmas. Didn't happen. Or we're going to get you these presents for you later. Didn't happen. That attunes your nervous system. To future fakers. Where given an opportunity to meet someone, you will find someone who future fakes, even at some level, whatever that is, just to get you off their back, right? They'll make a promise just to make you happy, just to get in your underpants, just to be around you because you're the person that they want to be around and they know the exact things to say to you to work that out, especially if you put it in a dating profile, right? I want kids, I want a long-term relationship, A future faker has the ability to shapeshift. They will become whoever you want them to be, as long as they get what they want out of the relationship. They'll become whoever you want them to be, as long as they get a relationship. But in that, when the time comes to actually enact, like move in together, have the children, create the family, move out, quit a job, start a new job, start a business, whatever it is, they falter. They collapse. They give up. They blame you, blame themselves, guilt, shame, because there's an incomplete childhood cycle there that keeps them trapped in that stage of development. And then for you, there's also a developmental cycle step missing, and it's tectonic, meaning that it's foundational, where your nervous system keeps betraying you. Your nervous system betrays that gut thing, that instinctual thing, to chase the fantasy. So, I love helping people stop attracting future fakers because I know how to retune the central nervous system at a deep level, and it's not a bypassy breathwork thing. It's actually a well-built scaffold that'll help you unhook and rewire your nervous system so you don't come back to this state where it felt so real but it was fake. And then the self-betrayal and the internal gaslighting that happens after that state. I'm like, was it even real? Did they even care? Right? And you can chalk this up. Maybe they were a narcissist. Maybe. That's not going to stop them from coming into your life. That's not going to stop you from attracting another one, because you need to recalibrate your inner truth, which comes from recalibrating your own internal map. Calibrating your own internal map, which will align your attraction to someone who's correct for you, instead of outsourcing what you really want in your life to somebody who's never going to fulfill it for you. So when you become fulfilled in yourself, it might sound a bit cliche, when you become fulfilled in yourself, that's when the entire game changes. And if that's something that you're interested in, then subscribe. This is the more of the work that I do. This is the deeper work that I do, is I help you stop attracting future fakers, narcissists, people that want to take from you instead of give to you, give to the family, give to the relationship, give to the container of the relationship. And it starts with you. And if you're afraid to start with you, well, then I recommend not getting into relationships, because you're not ready. You're still stuck in a stage of development that's going to keep you in a place where you're attracting future fakers, love bombers, narcissists, whatever else, whatever pop psychology term that you want to use, into your life, and you'll swear blind that it was love in the beginning, but it never was. It was a false truth that your central nervous system is attuned to, and it will keep you stuck, cycling in, looking for insights and awareness, instead of actually doing the deep work and taking the responsibility to own who you really are at the core, which is a beautiful, loving, caring person who wants to speak and express their truth, to touch whoever they're around, including that special someone, your person. And if that's true for you, then I have more for you. Mad love. Bye.